Okay, it's the 10th of June. I'd usually have done this probably a week ago, but for sweetcorn it's okay. It doesn't like going out much before June because if it gets a bit cold it kind of sulks a bit. So I've had a bit of rain today, so they are fairly damp, the beds, which is a bonus. So it's not bouncing off my head at the moment, which is a nice change. So, well, first of all, because it's a bit muggy, which I kind of think is typical when blight's due to arrive, when it gets quite humid. So it's not so far away. So this is stuff I've used last few years. I haven't bought any more. I've only got a little bit left, so I need to get some more. I got it off Amazon, but you can get it through JBA seed potatoes, and it's just called Blight Guard. You used to use a stuff called Bordeaux mixture, which was alright. It used to battle you never win with blight, but if you can hold it back by spraying fortnightly. So I'm going to give these a wallop after with it, and it's just simple like you put the dosage in some water and you give them a good spray. Try and get as much of the foliage as you can. You're not going to get everywhere, but it just stops the spores from sort of getting in, and any spores on it might kill. I don't exactly know how it works, but it affects the spores. So it just prolongs the battle a little bit, so it gives your potatoes a chance to form a bit more. So I'm not going to video with just spraying the plants because that's a bit boring really, but yeah, just get yourself a bottle of this or any sort of blight treatment for potato blight. It does tomatoes as well, but yeah, it's JBA Blight Guard. So you can find that online if they still do it. I say this bottle I've had for about 3 years now, so it does last a long time. Compared to the Bordeaux mix, it used to be quite dear. When you did it, 6-7 times for a season. But I think this was about 18 quid. But yeah, it seems to have done all right. Right, so we'll get on with this sweetcorn, variety Swift. I was going to do them over there, but change of plan. They're going in here. I've got 20 I'm going to put in, but it's fairly straightforward. These are just like cane caps, just like a dome. Put them on top of a cane, stop you jabbing your eye out or holding nets up and that. So I just use them as markers, kind of 15-inch in all directions, and they're about 8 inches in from the edge of the bed. Because they will get a bit, they'll try and push each other about a bit. But you need to do them in a grid or a block to pollinate, because they pollinate on the wind. So if it's on a calm night, you can come down and give them a bit of a shake and that'll help them out. Or just stroke the tassel at the top, where the pollen is, and then rub it down the tassels, or what I call the blonde wigs. It's pretty simple. Got a trowel, might use a smaller trowel, see how we get on. I'll do this one in the middle first. They're pretty pot bound, these, to be honest. They've been desperate to get out. The roots are through the bottom of the pot and all sorts. There's plenty of roots on that, absolutely loads of them. Really dry and light, so they're getting a bit stressed, but we shall see how we get on. It's just a case of make a hole. You can bury them a bit deeper, shove it in, get a good firm down. This bed's pretty firm actually, because I've walked all over it before. They say you're not supposed to walk on raised beds, but when they're no dig beds, it's different. It's more spongy and springy. That's one. Usually bigger trail. You don't have to be bang on with your measurements, as long as they're in a sort of grid form, you're not too bad. So I'm doing this fairly quick because time's getting on, and it'll be dark in another hour. I've got a few other bits to do. Fingers crossed I can get them done. So you don't have to treat them, like babies or anything. Just get them shoved in and firm down. And it is due to rain later, probably for the rest of the week. So we can just see how we get on. I'll give them a little bit of a drink. Not that they really need it, because as I say, it's quite wet, this soil. But yeah, there are stacks of roots on them, so it'll probably take a week or two to stop sulking and pump some new roots out. Usually always fine. Aphids can be a bit of a pest later in the season, but just like everything else, you can't always have trouble-free year. As you've noticed from the cauliflowers in previous videos, they're still a bit rubbish. So I've got quite a few seeds sown and that. Whether I've got space for them at the time, if not, I'll just have to pot them on and hope a spot appears. So I might film all this and it just saves on the editing side of things. I'll just, it might be a long video or a short one, or I might add some other bits to it, like I say, because in my last video I'd already got some bits I've done at home. Whether they get added at some point, you know, I'll have to check through them, see if they're any good really. Not much, a bit of a walk round on here and doing some bits of potting on and that. I've done Swift for the last few years, so next year I might try Lark or Applause. I used to do one called Northern Extra Sweet or something like that. But forgive me if they're not dead straight or anything, but I'm not too bothered because my bed isn't straight. Those who've fairly new to my channel, you can see how I actually did these beds of no dig side. Well, I did them probably a good few years ago now. So they're just called no dig beds. A must if you don't like weeding. If you search that on YouTube, you'll see my ugly mug on it. I have to be quite brutal to get them out, so I'm tearing a few roots. Yeah, I had to walk on this bed before and heal it in a bit because it was full of tunnels and everything. I've got probably about 9 spare sweet corn plants, which I'll fire on for a week, and then if I don't use them, I've got a new allotment neighbour, so I might give them. I don't use them, or I've got no family that wants them. Usually everything I sow ends up going into a good home. Pop these around here. Spread them out so we keep looking backwards and forwards. I'm not going to bother with labels in them because I know what they are. They're all spread. I just hope my camera or my mobile phone carries on recording. I'm hoping to get French climbing beans out tonight. Giant sunflowers, they're all in the back of the van. I'll leave them much longer, I'll not be able to get them in the back of the van. Now, sometimes sweet corn gets like a side shoot, a bit like a sucker on it. I'm always wondering too much to snap them off, or even be. So if anyone's got any recommendations or anything, any help would be much appreciated. The thing sweet corn do like is they like a good drink. when the kernels are forming. They do need watering, and last year it was really dry. Driest I've had it probably while I've had an allotment, to be honest. Give you a closer look at these roots. I'm going to be quite brutal with them to get them off. Stacks of roots. So far, the landowner's replaced the fence, and nothing else has been bothering mole-wise, I don't think. Oh, mind you saying that, I look like I've been hanging around again in the collie bed. Sort something out about that. A bloody nuisance. I'm only doing this from the side so I don't go and put my backside against the camera. It's not very polite, is it? Oh, it's a nice evening. It was actually really sunny this afternoon while I was at work, and then I started packing down, loading the van up. It started to piss it down. I thought, typical. And then when I got here, it was that gloomy. I thought, oh, is it going to start thundering and lightning? But luckily, it's been alright. It is really warm, and like I say, it's very humid, which is what blight likes. I've not looked at the pressure. I'm not sure, can't remember what the criteria is. It's something like temperature doesn't drop below 11 degrees for 48 hours, and then humidity is above 90 or 85 for 11 hours or something in a continuous length. That's when the blight spores become active. For those of you who don't know about the blight, it's pretty much what caused the potato famine in Ireland. So it would be nice to have a blight for a year, but I've had blight every single year. Because where my plot is, it's surrounded in farmland that's known for its potatoes, really. So it's kind of inevitable. So that's the sweet corn done. There's one thing left to do, apart from clearing up. Let's give him a drink. Not going to give him a load of it. I say soil's quite wet down there. That'll do, because if it starts pouring it down later on, they'll be fine. So that's the sweet corn all done. I'll get it cleared up and get on with the old climbing beans. Okay, I'm going to get on with these French climbing beans, varieties Cobra, which are an F1 variety, I think. They're a bit tall, so I might have fun and games trying to get these untangled. But we shall try and coax them apart. Lay them out because I want the better ones here, and then I'll have some backups, which I'll probably put in front of the shed at home. I've got some canes there, so I might as well use them because they do freeze well. They're just starting to do the old twist. Try and get rid of the longer ones if I can. So they're just yellowing off because they're just lack of nutrients. So I've got plenty to go at. The root trainers, they're not a favourite thing of mine, to be honest. I tend to just use them just for runner beans. Well, cloud French beans. I used to use toilet rolls and that at one time. Well, it doesn't really matter what you use, to be honest. So I'm hoping, I've got a little trusty dibber here, a little cable tie on it. I can sort of guess the depth, like that, and then simply open it out, select which ones I want for this row. You can stay there, the longer ones. And there. That's a proper long one, that. I'll take out there and pop that in there, just keeps the root trainer full. And 2 long ones down there. So I've got that there and there. What's there and there? Right, these canes, they're 8-foot canes. They're a bit rotten, but they're firm enough, so you need a bit of a firm erection because you can't do much with a floppy erection. I always tend to put one sort of central going out that way, and all that does is it kind of braces it a bit more that way. Without it, the whole thing sways backwards and forwards, so you can put some angled bracing, it just firms it all up a bit. And then, you know, I should have them in a bit more of a lean really, but I want to try and save this gap for whatever's going to end up in it yet. So I'm going to bring them about 2 inches in or something like that, and hopefully dib down like that. And then pushing quite well in. I do tend to go a little bit deeper with beans, not much though. Going to push them in, the root ball tends to open out. Work my way across here. You know, it's a little bit tight, the hole on that, but as you get it down, it's not so bad. In case you didn't know, it will always climb anti-clockwise. Because it's like, you know, northern hemisphere and whatnot. So, don't know if I imagine they'll go the other way in the southern hemisphere. No idea. Oh, look at that, I just found a leather jacket. I would show you, but just got just get rid of him. There's not really been too much of a problem this year, the leather jackets. Probably been eaten by whatever's living in my beds. And what I will do with these is I will probably just tie a little bit of string around them, just to keep them to until they grab, because you can get them, they can be a bit reluctant to want to grab hold sometimes. They start flailing about in the wind. And then it's usually as soon as they've got a hold on the cane, they're off. Then they just climb up. They're up in no time. Right, so that's that row done. Right, to select some of the other now. Let's see what we got here. London. Alright. You know, because I've got nowhere to pot these for a week or two, I can always put them into bigger pots. At home there's a little cane. You know, you can just plant them with a cane pointing to this, and it'll carry on up the cane that you've given it, and then it'll latch onto its bigger one. The long ones here. Yeah, there's a couple there. 2 M1s will do for down there. And 2. That one. And there. Try and sort of rearrange them again somehow. So these are only cheap root trainers. In the last, in Sweden we used to watch the videos, I don't know if she still does or not, called Hazel. So if you're watching Hazel, hello, I hope you're okay, and congratulations on the new arrival. You both do well. She had some root trainers that she bought, and they look cracking, to be honest. She has got a channel on YouTube. And she was doing a little bit, and then not seen her for a while. But yeah, well, she's recently had a child, a little Bobby. It's actually getting warmer. Probably just me trying to do this quick as I can. I did it the other year, but I forgot to do it this year. I was going to do them across the end of a bed again, because I used to put canes across 2 beds to save wasting space, so they're sort of like over one of my pathways. I should have just put my garlic further along a bit, but as far as I know, I don't think garlic or the alliums do too well next to legumes. I don't know. I think sometimes the whole planting thing gets taken a bit too seriously. I mean, I follow a rotation to a degree, but if you're going to get pests and disease, you're just going to get them, really. Right, so that's done. Want some water. good watering quite close to the ground, I think. Dangle my head a bit. Hopefully should be okay. Once they start, it's just a case of coming down and picking them fairly regularly. So that's the cobra French climb beans done. Just got to tie them up now, which I'm not bothered showing. Like I say, it's just round the top here. Just loosely just tie a bit of string, and it just once it's grabbed hold, it's fine then. Thought whilst a little bit of light, I'll give you a quick walk around. So sweet corns all in. The cauliflower, it's not great. Could have with been like, a lot more bulk on them, but they're going to stay in for now. And then, they'll just stay in and I'll get what I get off them and then put something else in the bed after them. Onions, a bit topsy, sort of collapsing a bit, but they'll be alright. Peas are, starting to flower. They're me cobra French climb beans. Brassicas are doing alright. You won't be able to see, but I do have some small heads starting, so another 2 weeks maybe I can harvest them. Spud bed is just a jungle now, so there's no chance really getting in there to do any more hilling, so I'll have to do. Garlic, doing alright, no signs of rust as yet. Spring onions, sprung up. Beetroot needs thinning out if I get round to doing it. It won't be tonight anyway because I've got my sunflowers to do still. Asparagus, just left and forgotten about until I decide what to do with that bed. Surprising, trying to keep focus when this light starts going. Strawberries, I don't know. There's plenty of flowers on them. They're quite big. Them peas down there, there's only a few that came up. Raspberries, steady growing. Blueberries are all closed in now. Plenty of berries on them. I've had to string up the canes and that because I'm toppling over and whatnot. I need to go in there and trim the grass, which I was hoping to do tonight, but I'll probably run out of light. So these are the sunflowers, the Titan. They're going to go in that bed there. So I'll pop my camera down and I'll try and capture that while there's a bit of light. Right, let's get on with these sunflowers. They potted on a couple of weeks ago into these 3 litre pots because I didn't manage to get down here when they were in there, the smaller pots. I built this a couple of years ago, just some slate batten. Well, it's good for another year. Got like a small border spade. I thought, well, that'll probably do. It's a bit fiddly. I could have brought a screwdriver really to knock this off because I don't really need that, so it's going to get in my way a bit. But we shall persevere. Just guess I'm digging a bit of an hole. It's easier said than done. That bit of wood is right in the way. And then try and get them out. I don't know how much root they've got on them. Oh. I'll show you. Quite a bit of root on them. So they're not root bound. This is then slowly trying to lower them down the hole. Just put the soil around it. Like so. A bit like do with a tree, I suppose, because that's what they pretty much are once they get some size on them. Just firm them in. I'm not even going to water them because it is pretty wet, that soil. And all I'm going to do for supports is cable tie. Kind of not too tight around them. These are 12-inch long cable ties. I'm just going to click it so it just starts, because believe it or not, sunflowers like a bit of rock and roll. You can rock about a bit, it stirs the trunk up. I'll just repeat that process now. Can bury them a bit deeper. I don't mind at all. Well, supposedly anyway. And then obviously get a lot of wet mud in your boots, so you end up about 5 inches taller. I've got some nasturtiums at home. I might bring them up and fill the lower part of this bed with some nasturtiums. Make it look a bit pretty. And there's that. It's just a case of each week I'll have to probably come and put another one on. It probably will be better with the straps. So you're going to be out of shot on these other two really, because the light's going to go. So I'll leave it at that for this video, I think. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one, which would probably be the first potato reveal. So take care. See you next time. Bye.